What's the word, MF's family? We back with our second episode. You know what I'm saying? Your boy, Be Nice. Got Lando with me.
Also got Will here, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a family reunion. Off camera right now, but MF is we slowly but surely, we regaining like a symbiote. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of just puddling back together. We're going to be full strength before you know it. You know what I'm saying? But we had a successful first episode, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? We got some reviews back from you guys. We appreciate all the love y'all been showing. Moving forward, we gave y'all some like predictions and, you know, we came out with our week one stuff on Instagram. But I don't think we were that successful.
So, looking at my pick'ems, I was, well, it should depend on how the Vikings do today. I was 11-6.
Okay.
So, good, but not great, right?
Yeah, we was
good, but not great. You know,
we was on par,
right?
But we took some favorites that kind of showed their ass. You know what I'm saying? And then we were very disappointed in the performance by the Lions, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I think we were both in the same wheelhouse for the most part. I will say you swayed me very heavily, and not to say that I wouldn't have selected them myself, but your oomph behind the Miami Dolphins was like, oh yeah, Dolphins is an easy pick. They got their ass beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that was crazy.
That was the one that got me, and like me and Austin even like did like pick. I'm like, man, the Dolphins should win this easy. But you know what I forgot?
What's that?
I forgot how bad the Dolphins got dog walked here at practice.
Yeah.
They got dog walked.
We watched that. We saw that.
I saw that. And I'm like, now I'm thinking back. I just thought the Colts are just so trash because Daniel Jones was just easy.
100%. Yeah.
But, you know, the Dolphins, that's over with.
Daniel Jones is a phenomenal thing. And I think just segueing into that, man, we had some, like, redemption arcs. You know what I'm saying? You had the Daniel Jones. You had the Justin Fields. How you feel about those two players kind of getting a second shot at life right now?
Well, I mean, I'll start off with Daniel Jones, man. He looked poised. He looked ready. He looks totally different than he did in New York. And that it comes out to a coaching staff, man. Mm-hmm. If you got the confidence and belief in the player, I think that makes a big difference.
100%.
Definitely. So that's what I saw with Daniel Jones. The same thing with Justin. Even though Justin Fields had moments last year, he played good. Yeah. I've never seen him look that comfortable.
I think for sure their career arcs is not necessarily tit for tat as far as similarities, but I think that there are some patterns that you can see where both had rise and falls, but it was obviously much more success on Justin Fields' part. Yeah. But like you say, I've never seen him that comfortable and fluid. It just trusting himself in the moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? That hesitation is, I think, a big thing with a lot of the younger quarterbacks. And like you say, to have not only to trust your teammates, but also your coaches is very comforting and kind of relaxes you a lot for sure. I think kind of going off of that, though, we had a couple more examples of some elder statesmen in different spots. Obviously, Joe Flacco was already with the Browns, but got Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers and then Russell Wilson with the Giants. You know, how do you think those three quarterbacks performed?
So Aaron Rodgers got his vengeance. He said he wanted to beat everybody that's associated with the Jets, and I love it. 4 touchdown passes. He looked very comfortable. He looked like the Aaron Rodgers of old. And look, that goes back to, you know, Robert Saleh. He's from Dearborn, you know, so we just shot him out. But you got to put players in the right situation.
For sure.
You got the right stride. I just think they did the Aaron Rodgers, even though he got hurt there too, but they did the whole situation with him wrong. And, he came out ready to play, and he performed very well. I felt like on the flip side of New York, Russell Wilson, I watched that whole game. He was on the run the entire night. Like, that shit was like a horror film, some shit like that. Like, he was getting chased all, like, he could never get comfortable, never get poised. And to me, he did okay for what I saw, like all the hits and shit he took. Yeah. But you can see the frustration is starting to boil over in the locker room, and I think he'd probably be benched by like week 3.
I just feel like with Russell Wilson, I would liken it to like a basketball terms. He kind of similar to Chris Paul. Like, once you get to the point of you being past your prime where premier teams and premier situations don't want you anymore, might be time to hang it up, just to be real about this. Like, because Chris Paul, we saw him go from Phoenix, you know what I'm saying, which was an optimal situation. They went to the finals. It just didn't work out. He was obviously in Houston. They had a run as well. Like, once you get to the Warriors, it's like you playing with your rivals, you playing with Steph Curry. They don't really need you. Then transition through those type of waves to kind of get to the point where, like I said, even with Russell Wilson, like going from the Steelers, which was a team that still for all intents and purposes, always has a shot at going like further in the playoffs. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe not always a Super Bowl chance, but they got a fighter's chance realistically every year. Obviously, under Tomlin, they haven't ever went losing season, so they always kind of have a shot. But now it's like you go to the Giants, laughing stock in the NFL for the last 20 or so years, you know, or last 15 maybe. You know, Eli won some championships, but the last 15 or so years, man, that's kind of been like an abysmal organization. So to be there now kind of just show you where you are in your career. And it's like, yeah, at this point, maybe they should just let Jackson Dart rock because
I don't think they could have let him play. Like yesterday, he probably would have got hurt. So,
and I feel that. But just moving forward, like you said, I think it's not doing nobody justice if you're not getting the benefit of having a veteran. Like if you're going out there struggling, it's like shit, we might well let him struggle. Like it's his way now.
Yeah, but I think it's like you said, it's easier to make that transition from the veteran to the rookie. And look, like you just said, Joe Flacco, who played well enough for them to win. I mean, you know, they missed some kicks and stuff. If you bounce around and stay around long enough, you could be Joe Flacco, or you could be a Geno Smith, where you just you pop up and hey, I'm your starting quarterback. So
100%.
I mean, he's still giving out good contracts. I think Russ gonna play until he can't play no more.
100%. Kind of just going with what you said there. You know what I'm saying? Some of those middle tier quarterbacks that we kind of had performing this past week. We had Baker Mayfield. We had Brock Purdy.
Which I got mad about that Baker Mayfield because I picked Tampa to win.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Austin made a parlay. He was so into this Atlanta shit. And I'm just thinking in my head like, no. But we went with it. But no, yeah, like I said, Baker Mayfield solidified himself as a good quarterback in this league.
I trust that. You know what I'm saying? And just like you said, I think that there is a certain respect to having a consistency in your flow. You know what I'm saying? And the middle tier is necessary for quarterbacks because you need even kill people.
Yeah.
Everybody's not going to be a superstar. Another name that you mentioned, Geno Smith. How you feel about the Raiders?
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders, they shocked a lot of people. A lot of people were high on the Patriots. I wasn't really, but Geno Smith is just like...
I had them picked.
You got them picked?
I like Mike Vrabel. Yeah, I like Mike Vrabel. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm a Pats guy. You know, I grew up a big Pats fan.
Yeah, I was the Patriot guy.
Definitely like...
Patriot way.
Yeah, definitely, especially like that defense with Rodney Harrison, Ty Law was on the earlier years, but the Teddy Bruschi's, Mike Vrabel, like those are kind of my guys. Damn, I'm forgetting Richard Seymour. You know what I'm saying? For sure. All that defense was very prevalent in my upbringing. So with him at the helm, I'm gonna always have a certain love and respect for what they got going on. But I understand it's not the traditional Patriot way. We don't have Bill no more. Time ain't walking through them doors, so you kind of just gotta accept what you gotta accept, and it's a work in progress.
That's gonna be a conversation for another day because I think Bill Belichick, they look bad in North Carolina, but we'll talk about that.
They got their ass handed to them too.
A few weeks ago, I think they won this Saturday, but no, look, Geno Smith is like steady. He just steady as the river, man, and he don't make mistakes. He makes the right throws. He knows how to read the defense. He knows how to audible. He just takes full control over the offense, man. And him,
for sure.
They just got something special, man. Him and Pete Carroll got something special together.
And I saw Chris Long say it. Like, I had talked to him, you know what I'm saying, our sister Cassandra about it. She was doing a fantasy league. And I wanted Geno to be our starting quarterback. I saw Chris Long mention it, but, like, Geno's stats in an indoor field is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, he's very phenomenal. And they only play 5 outdoor games this season. Yeah. So he should be projected and tracking to have a very successful season based on his history. When he's not outside, Geno Smith is very, very successful. So I think that this will be a good year for him. Kind of just segueing that and staying with like how we've been moving through the quarterbacks. We had about 4 or so younger quarterbacks who kind of got not necessarily an arc to where they need to be progressing, but they had some stagnation. So we had Kyler Murray. We had Trevor Lawrence, we had Bo Nix, and we had C.J. Stroud. How you feel about those 4?
So Kyler Murray, I thought he played well. Like I said, they got the W.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
does it hold anything or hold any weight for you that they were playing arguably the worst team in the NFL?
No, I mean, look, every Sunday a win is a win. It's hard to get a win in this league, man. So I mean, any given Sunday you can lose. So. I give them credit for that. Now they were playing a very bad Saints team who has a quarterback that I said will make it to the NFL, Spencer Rattler. I didn't think he'd be starting right away. Like, there's a quarterback we've been watching since like Netflix. He was on QB1.
We've known Spencer Rattler since he was like 16.
He's 16 years old. I knew he'd make it. Me and Smoke used to argue back and forth. I didn't think he'd be a starter. I do think they need to address the quarterback situation there. But no, you got to beat the teams in front of you.
So right now, some way, somehow, Shedeur Sanders end up the same. Who's the starter?
I think you got to go with Shedeur just because he got the upside. I mean, Spencer may be better now, but I think just sometimes you got to go off the potential and the upside. So, yeah, I'll go Sanders. I thought Will Johnson played a great game.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Like, Arizona has built a good defense. They got a high-flying offense. I think they can make some noise in the NFC West. You brought up Bo Nix.
Yeah.
I saw a little bit of that game. They struggled. I'm not a big Bo Nix guy. I'm not.
I think there's a lot of limitations to his skill set and talent.
And he old.
Yeah,
like, dude, I'm not going to, no bullshit. I remember watching Bo Nix on TV in 2017. Playing college. And then I want to say like a year ago, he was like at Oregon. I'm like, what the fuck? What he just at Auburn?
It's
so
very,
he's like an 8-year
very
senior
like Brandon Wheaton-ish. You know what I'm saying? Some of those 2009 type of quarterbacks that was coming out that played baseball and shit like that. Very much so.
Yeah.
So I think that's you know what I'm saying, very huge. We also talked about C.J. Stroud and the Rams.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That game, they obviously didn't look as good. So what's to make of C.J. Stroud for you right now? How do you feel about him?
So I feel like he's a good quarterback, but he's in that stage where we don't know if he's going to be a bottom 16 quarterback or will he be a top 16.
Okay.
He kind of like stuck right there. So we don't know if he ascend. He had a good rookie year, had a step back last year. Yesterday, look, week one, I hate to overreact because like we talked about, they don't do preseason like anymore. It's going to take these teams like a few weeks to get in rhythm. But they just looked stalled. Like the offense looked stalled out there.
Very much so.
They couldn't get anything going. They couldn't really go over the top. So, yeah.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. Also, we didn't talk about this team as well. The Jaguars and the Panthers. What do you make of that game?
I don't know what they're going to do with Bryce Young. I don't know what's going on in Carolina. That shit was a mess. That was a mess. Like you said, Jacksonville, kudos to them for getting a win. But I think that's more Carolina. I think they'll be bad for the next few years.
I think they just don't have like a scheme, idea, plan. And I think, like this just one of those situations where unfortunately, never to wish on somebody's downfall, but they're just going to have to draft another quarterback.
Yeah,
this ain't it.
That's a good fit.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to succeed anywhere. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? I am of the essence with all sports primarily. The only sport I kind of like fuck with it in is like baseball a little bit. I don't support little people in sports. You short, I would never draft you. I'm just saying, if I was a GM, I would never draft you. It's not happening. I just think it's outdated, you know what I'm saying? Very difficult. And the athlete has changed tremendously. The athletes that we grew up watching, the 5'9" guy was the speedster, and he was elusive and exclusive in that space. Now you got 6'3" motherfuckers who run in 4'3". Like, that's the norm now.
But you see now, though, I mean, still, like, that average size player is still, I guess, the key player when it comes to, like, receivers now. Most talented receivers now are around that range. I think, look, when you get a quarterback like that, you have to build a system around him. You got to roll him out.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to run the ball. Like, you got to make it. You got to make it an easy transition.
Do I think in an optimal situation could he find success? Of course.
Yeah, but
where is that gonna be? Like you coddling too much. Like at a certain point, you need to have a skill set that can transition and transcend systems. Because you was a premier pick. We're not talking about Geno Smith. Like we're not talking about a journeyman who on the back half of his career. We talking about a nigga we drafted to get a key start franchise. That's totally different.
Yeah, I understand that, but also you gotta make it easy for him.
100%.
Like you gotta do what they do well. Like you have them do things that he can't do. Like you gotta move the pocket for him. So
100%.
But I 100%.
We also talked about, or did not talk about, Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Do you think C-Mac is gonna stay healthy this season?
No.
Yeah, well.
No. I don't trust him. Like you say, man, when it comes to fantasy, man, I didn't even look. He might as well not even been on the board. I drafted him last year. I don't know what's wrong with his calves, his ankle, his hand. Like, yeah, he's a great athlete, man, but I'm straight on him. I don't think he'll stay healthy.
The 49ers stronghold at the top of the NFC and kind of just funneling around, do you think it's coming to an end?
I think this season they'd be okay because they played most of the worst. They played like the worst teams from last year.
Okay.
So they should be okay. Like they got a favorable schedule. But no, I think that division is tough. The division is tough. So
I respect that.
yeah, but I think this is probably like that last year. And that window will close.
Okay, so kind of gearing up, you know what I'm saying? We're kind of mashing our remaining games, starting with season opener. How you feel about that?
We look bad. Like let's just be honest. You know, I don't want to react. The Lions looked very bad. We looked unprepared. We looked uninspired. We got beat up on the offense and defensive line. The play calling was bad. It was receivers running wide open. We were missing. It just no pressure. Aiden Hutchinson, I think, had like one tackle. I'm a little worried, right? I'm a little worried, and that's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's only one game. I know we got to build up, but boy, it took the air out of the city,
sure.
man. Everybody's looking around like stuff. We got beat up yesterday.
I think that we got to a place where our aspirations became higher. As a normal stance, I would say that game didn't frighten me that much, but because our goals have ascended to like Super Bowl, that was alarming. Because these are the type of teams that we need to be competitive with, if not dismantling. So to be on the other end of that, it's like, are we not in the same class? Because that's a little frightening. Like I said, from a game one standpoint, understanding how preseason works, and our starters not playing, totally get they're being rushed. But to go from a team that basically was top 5 in scoring last year, or led the league in scoring down there, to scoring 6 points and a half is crazy.
No, that's crazy.
And extremely scary, you know what I'm saying? And we didn't lose any of those weapons. Line is a little shaky. Offensive coordinator is obviously different, but you still got the same guys. If not added more with Isaac Tesla, as we saw with that tremendous first touchdown catch in his career.
Yeah.
Expected huge things from the hometown kid, but definitely a little scary. Cowboys and Eagles.
I mean, I was actually shocked by the way the Cowboys played. Dak actually played good to me.
Yeah.
If Lamb don't drop those 3 or 4 passes,
They got a good shot at winning.
They got a good shot at winning, and then you had the running back that fumbled, and then you had the thunderstorm and shit that happened, or you had the delay. I thought the Cowboys looked okay. And look, here's the thing I love about the Eagles, right?
Mm.
They couldn't get no pressure. What did they do? They go sign Z, and that's the thing I'm mad about Brad Holt. No, we ain't good. We should have grabbed a pass rusher. They went and drafted, got Darius, and they just traded for another running back.
Yeah, they did.
So no, they're like the Eagles. They just know how to
make moves.
Yes, they make moves.
He make moves. We got the game of the week, most would say. Ravens versus the Bills.
Yeah, no, that was a total. Like I said, I picked up Baltimore to win that game. I'm very disappointed at Harbaugh at the end. You got to go for that 4. You cannot put the ball back in Josh Allen's.
That is true.
And he been lighting y'all up the whole game. You got to let Lamar and them try to get that first down. Derrick Henry had a monster game, but he fumbled at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Very
unfortunate.
The defense from Baltimore, this is not the Baltimore defense that we grew up watching, man.
Yeah, and they went on and tried to, sign Jair, did a bunch of little different things that I thought would make them better, but it was to no avail. Also, everybody just seemed like teams is a little rusty. I think for the most part, we had a couple games where there was a talent disparity, but every game seemed to be really close and stumbling and bumbling.
Yeah.
A lot of teams was kind of just pushing through the mistakes and quarrels. Same with our Friday night game. We don't really get too many of those, but the Chargers and Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think that was a good win for Harbaugh.
But you see, at the end, they get Justin Herbert credit. He I'm not gonna put this in Pat Mahomes' hands.
Yeah.
He took off with it. Took off. DN cut in. He hit the outside. Got the first down. That's how you got to end.
And I would like for Herbert to succeed. I would liken or say that I was a Herbert fan at one point in time. Really has not had any success in the NFL, you know what I'm saying? But I think maybe with Harbaugh there, and we've already harped on, a coach being in your background and being supportive of you can change the outlook on what's going on surrounding you. So I think this might be a decent season for Herbert for sure. Yeah. And then the game that we have actively going on is we do a live check-in, 1:55 to go, and the Vikings had a ball and are up 3 points.
Listen, man, I told y'all about JJ. I told y'all he gonna make it happen. That's the comeback kid, the Michigan legend. He here. The boy don't lose. He clutch.
I mean, it is what
Shout
it
out
is.
to JJ. Shout out to the Vikings.
I guess, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in support of that. Lions lost, so fuck the NFC North as a whole right now. I could care less. You know, all them niggas suck in my opinion. But piggybacking off that, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna kind of float back and forth. But just to give a couple quick tidbits, we had already talked about North Carolina, but we're not gonna speak too much on that. Going into college football, Michigan State won.
A close game. Like
Michigan State won.
Don't say it like that. And look, shout out to my cousin. Cousin Sean was at the game. And my two beautiful cousins was there with him. But I told him going into this game, I'm like, this is going to be a tough game. They went in, like 3 overtimes or some shit like that. But shout out to them. Charles looked really good.
5 touchdowns. Nick Marsh is a beast. Gonna be a
Southfield, right?
River Rouge. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Gonna be at least a top 3 round pick. You know what I'm saying? At the least, I feel like you don't see too many receivers out the Big Ten kind of balling like that. But hey, young Gunner's killing, and he got Bryce Underwood, Justin Haynes.
So what
arguing on the sideline.
What do you say about the people?
You want your quarterback all in the videos.
What do you say for the people that say that if Boston College don't fumble on that opening drive, then y'all lose that game?
We fumbled too.
Y'all fumbled the kickoff with the punt.
Yeah, we fumbled.
But they fumbled like right in the end zone. Like you could have had that.
I mean, that's cool. Jordan Hall made a play.
So here's the thing: is Michigan State good or is Boston College just a bad like ACC team? Cause I'm not gonna look, and I want Michigan State to do well. I just saw 2 badass teams playing against each other. That's how I felt watching that game.
I'm gonna give Michigan State some grace.
Okay.
They missing their starting safety.
Okay.
Like it's different pieces on the defense that I feel like are still transitioning. I'm fucking with the offense though. Offense is cool. Offensive line is kind of holding up. We're seeing Aiden get through his progressions a lot smoother. They got one of the deepest receiving corps in the nation. I would say definitely the top in the Big Ten. But running backs, still, it's not a Kenneth Walker there. We don't got a home run playmaker, but a running back core that is very serviceable. Defense still got to figure some things out. I don't think it's very dominant as far as a defensive line, but they seem cohesive. There were a couple blunders and mistakes, but I think through film they can kind of fix that up. On your end,
they gave up 42 points.
They did.
How many wins do you think Michigan State gonna get this year?
We need 8 to get to a ball game. We can get 8.
Oh, you need 6. 6 to get to a ball game.
No, that's some shit I don't want to go to. I like a solid ball game.
You think y'all gonna get 8 wins?
Maybe.
Who do y'all play next week?
USC. We not winning.
Yeah, y'all losing that.
Yeah, but it's a fucking 11 p.m. start on the West. Of course we not gonna fucking win.
Y'all
wouldn't win that game.
I would love to go. We beat USC last year.
Y'all wouldn't win that game this year.
Yes, we will beat USC this year. Now look, let's go to Michigan. The same thing I'm gonna say about the Lions. We got beat up. Like our whole line got beat up. Our D line got beat up.
It got fucked up.
We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't stop the run. The way they was using their quarterback, that's the way we should have been using the
Bryce
quarterback.
Underwood.
I mean, Bryce and the quarterback from last year. Bro, you gotta open up the playbook.
For sure.
Bryce got all the skill set. 6'5", strong arm, vision. He can move. Let him move and rotate. Let him throw the ball down the field. The play calling was was stagnant. And then it got to the point where defense, this is the biggest. That receiver for Oklahoma is from here. He wanted to go to Michigan. Y'all didn't recruit him. Why? He lit us up. He had 10 catches and a touchdown. Dude, we got to do a better job of keeping our home talent here. And, the play caller it has to get better. You got to open up the playbook.